Hey, what's up, Jooba people? I quickly want to talk about the song Black Summer by Red Hot Chili Peppers that just came out today and what makes it great according to me. So, first of all, you can see the PDF there as I'm working on it. Let me get my pencil. It's an amazing song, like really good. I've been jamming around with it. I did a cover, acoustic cover of it. You can check that out. But I really want to talk about just the music theory behind and some of the interesting chords that they used and why those chords actually work. So they have the song's in the key of E minor, okay, and it's got a typical Red Hot Chili Peppers feel, almost like scar tissue kind of groove, and that's basic. But the moment the song caught my attention was with the A chord, because in the key of E minor you don't have an A chord, you have an A minor chord. Like you see, they're using A minor a lot in the song. But then in the opening verse they lazy rain and mud, the skies refuse to cry. The moment they play that A chord, it's like there's something beautiful there. It's like it opens up, and I want to just explain like why that A chord is there. So a lot of times in rock and blues, people will use the Dorian mode instead of the normal minor scale. So let me explain. The E minor scale, right, is 6 notes, okay? Sounds pretty normal. But the 6th note in the Dorian scale, the Dorian minor scale, is a C sharp, not a C, as in the key here. So the 6th note is a C. So it's got the kind of very sad minor sound. But if you take the 6th note and you make it a major 6, it's like a minor and a major scale mixed together. It's so beautiful. Let's listen to this. It's used a lot by David Gilmour, like in Pink Floyd, and a lot in funk music as well. That was not a good example, but some of it sounded a little bit cool, so you get the idea. I was just improvising there. So if you replace that C with a C sharp, you're playing in the key of E Dorian. So it's like an E minor scale with just one note changed, okay? And that's really cool. So then if you change that one note, we all know A minor has got a C note inside of it, right? And if you take that C and you make it a C sharp, then you get the A chord, okay? So that's why in the key of E Dorian, you'll have an A chord. So they're basically using E Dorian momentarily inside the song, and that's what gives it that nice feel. And if you want to use that with your own chord progressions, you can just jam around like that, and you'll see the moment you use an A chord, the whole flavor changes. So if you do, but if I had used an A minor, it doesn't sound the same. The A is kind of like a really nice thing. It's also used in Billy Joel. So a lot of folk music uses the A chord. It's very common to have that, instead of using A minor, to use an A chord. Okay, but anyway, then they do one more interesting thing with the chords, is they use an E chord in the key of E minor. And that's like a borrowed chord technique, where you borrow chords from, if you're in a minor key, you borrow chords from the major key. And you can think of the A chord also as that, so they just borrowed the A chord from the key of E major. But I like to think of it more as Dorian, because they're using all the chords in the key of G still, the key of E minor, and then just momentarily going to an A. And it sounds that... Anyway, so they use that E chord as well. So the E chord is just a borrowed chord, and you can throw that in anywhere. It will just make your song breathe a little bit more and just like surprise the listener a bit. So Sting, that guy, said once, he said, if I'm not surprised, then I stopped listening. And that's the thing with this song. If they didn't put this A chord and they didn't put this E chord in there, the whole song would have, kind of sounded a bit stale. But those chords really make the song just like glisten, So then, if you use the key chords of E minor, you stay in the E minor key, but you occasionally change the E to be an E major. It's really beautiful. So you can use that in your own playing. Oh, my iPad just crashed. Oh my goodness, it's gone. That sucks. Let's see here. Oh, wait, there we go. Okay, so let me say something about the lyrics. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say about the lyrics. So here we have these three lines, okay, and the song is super catchy, so it's really cool. I know not a lot of people will like this video, but this is something that I want to get into a little bit more. So he's got the two lines that are rhyming, and it's I at the end of every line. Okay, so I, cry, supply, right? Really basic rhyme scheme, and then the next three lines have the same kind of structure. But he could have done this. He could have said the lazy rhythm skies refuse to cry, and then carried on with that. But then it would have gone repetitive. It would be like, okay, we get it, But now they do like this two lines that are just really good songwriting, and then the third line kind of makes it different. So it's like same, different, and that's like a really good thing to do when you're soloing, like to do something. You get the idea? It's like, okay, we get it. And then just as the person becomes used to it, because once you have one repetition, it's like, okay, I'm used to that. And then you surprise them. Then it's like, you keep their attention, right? It's like, okay, he's doing this. Okay, he's doing it again. If he's going to do it a third time, the third time is going to be like, okay. So it's just a beautiful. Then he changes the whole thing. Very beautiful. So it's like two parts that really complemented each other. So I really was very impressed by this songwriting. It's really good. And then the second part of the verse does exactly the same. And because it's not a short part that's looped, it's quite a long structure, the verse. It is okay to loop it exactly the same the second time. Okay, because your ear can't remember all the details. So. And it also makes it fun to sing along to. Like, I could learn this really quickly because it's written so well. Okay, then the chorus is just like meant to be like, I think like stadium kind of rock kind of people, just like. And the chords are really interesting. They throw in those E chords there, and that's a common thing that Jimi Hendrix does as well. Is he did the. So E, and then he went to C. Really beautiful way to play. Then the solo is just amazing. It kind of mimics the vocal line a little bit in the verses, I think. But what makes a chord progression and a melody really good for me is when it sounds good, not just with a good production. Like, you could play this melody with a little recorder and it will sound good. The melody for the solo will sound good just with a recorder or a flute and maybe like an orchestra. So I just want to play you the way I like to play this solo progression. So, and it's a little bit like his solo notes with the chord. So. So he's doing that chromatic run into the D. That A chord there on the sheet is actually wrong, and there's not an A chord there. It could be, but you know. So he's just playing the root note, the E, then playing the third of G, just targeting the chord tones, the fifth of D, and that's really nice with the D's going out of the D to sus4 to 4. And then back into the E minor. And then with the A, he's doing the root note. And then I can't remember what they do from there. But anyway, you get the idea. It's just beautiful soloing, following the chords, but not consistently every time. So with the D, he's kind of going. And that's actually the first time he kind of goes out of the chord. So he's just doing runs into chord tones. So just thinking of the chord tones of the E minor. And he's not thinking about the chord tones. I can guarantee you that. He's just kind of like, I mean, that's just a vocal line. So he's kind of working with the vocal line, but he's kind of figured these things out really well. What else can I say about this song? No, it's just good. I love the intro. It's just like this anticipation. Nobody knew where it was going. There's a guy with a channel called Figgy, and he's got some really good Red Hot Chili Pepper stuff. He'll probably also cover this and do the lesson and everything. So, cheers, guys. Have a nice day. Hope you enjoyed this. If you like this type of video, let me know. I'd love to do more of this. Cheers.